Welcome to the Everything Podcast. This episode, I'm to be reacting to the newest Ninth Doctor Adventures release from Big Finish, entitled 13 O'Clock, which was released on Monday, the 29th of June, 2026. I'm recording this episode on Wednesday, the 1st of July, 2026, and I will go through the normal format of a Big Finish reaction, recap, reaction now, sounds better. Talk about what we know, show you the trailer, and then talk about the actual episode. And at the end of the episode, I'll tell you where we're heading next with the Ninth Doctor Adventures, because it was actually announced on the day that 13 O'Clock was released. But before I do, actually, Big Finish has had a website upgrade. So there we go. Hopefully it's better than the last one where the website doesn't crash. But we'll just wait and see. I was actually looking at stuff because on the 1st of every month they release Vortex, which is their kind of like internal magazine thing. And I just kind of, and obviously for this episode as well. So the Ninth Doctor 30 Adventures, 13th o'clock, as I mentioned, was released on the 29th of June 2026 and written by Robert Valentine. Here's the synopsis. The Doctor and Rose return once more to the Powell estate, but now the Doctor has a dreadful suspicion about the malevolent power that keeps pulling them back. The estate is shrouded in a strange fog, most of the residents have vanished, and the sinister Mrs. Crook guards the ominous Flat 13. What's more, Saffron Windrose has arrived in search of the Doctor, but once he helped her face a nightmarish entity at a railway station called Underbridge, and it's happening again. Producer Matt Fitton said, with this story, we reached the climax of the initial arc that we envisaged set in and around the Powell estate. The Doctor and Rose initially called in there so Rose could reconnect with her mum after the events of Father's Day. But the longer they stay, the more the Doctor begins to realise that something is drawing them back. We also have the return of the brilliant Indigo Griffiths as a slightly different Saffron to the naive character who mentored Station to Station. Writer Ron Valentine, who previously scripted the Ninth Doctor and Saffron Windrose's first encounter in Station to Station, explained the big changes on this job was that now we were finally getting to write for the Doctor and Rose Tyler. Writing for the Ninth Doctor travelling solo originally, it was really fresh dynamic that Chris was really interested in exploring, but it's also meant that he had to provide some companion figure wherever he went, such as Saffron. Getting to write for Really Piper this time around has been extremely fun, whilst he also really enjoyed bringing back Saffron. When she first met the Doctor, she was in her early to mid-20s, kind of the age I am, and dealing with a lot of stuff. But now we meet her again. She's in the late 20s. She is her own woman now, her head screwed on. She is who she wants to be. Christopher Eccleston said the adventures centering on the Powell estate has been a great concept for the first part of our series. It's ups the emotional stakes for Rose, which brings everything up. I thought it's a brilliant trip because, of course, it's so associated with those first episodes of The Ninth Doctor. I think this is a brilliant script and would have worked so well on the television. The stakes are very high. Billy Piper added, the interaction between Rose and Saffron is pretty chilly at first. Rose is really territorial over the Doctor and has that kind of reaction to anyone that claims him in any way, which is kind of petulant and stupid, but also quite sweet. They both really care about the Doctor, have got their own troubled histories, and that's used against them. And Indigo Griffiths, who voices returning friend Saffron Windrose, said Saffron is back for another adventure with the Doctor. This time around, she knows what she's in for. She believes in herself a bit more, and she comes prepared. She's ready to take care of herself, and she's ready to rescue the Doctor if necessary. She's very cool. This episode, 13 O'Clock, features Christopher Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor, Billy Piper as Rose, and Indigo Griffiths as Saffron. The cover art was done by Olivia Chenry. The writer, as I mentioned, was Robert Valentine. The director is Helen Goldwyn. Producer, as mentioned, Matt Fitton. The executive producers are Nicholas Briggs and Jason Gallery. The sound design was done by Ian Meadows. The music was done by Howard Carter, and the total runtime is 75 minutes, with the recording dates being various dates in April and May 2025, so over a year ago. So, without further ado, before I talk about it, which I will do in a minute, here is the trailer for the Ninth Doctor Adventures, 13 O'Clock.
Hello? Hello? Anyone home? Listen, you're going to have to let me in, Mr. Mr. Grimm?
He won't answer you.
Is he all right in there?
He is waiting for a doctor.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Ninth Doctor Adventures, 13 o'clock.
This is it. The Power Estate.
Turned foggy, hasn't it? Is it always this quiet?
I wouldn't know. Try not to come here. You hear stories about this place.
Something seriously wrong has happened to space-time.
We've only been gone 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, Rose.
Why? It's not your fault, is it?
Actually, it might be. This might all be my fault.
I told you to go. Yet you crossed the threshold. And now it's too late.
Hello, Doctor. I knew I'd find you.
Saffron?
Yeah.
Saffron Windrose?
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
You can beg and you can plead. But when your time comes, he will see.
This is something you've met before.
Yeah, once.
And you beat it, right?
I thought I had. I thought I'd banished it. Sent it somewhere it could never come back from.
You can't beat it. You can't banish it. You can't even harm it. It doesn't matter what you do. You can't escape them.
The what? You can't escape the what?
Soon, great master. Soon, the doctor shall return. The clock is ticking.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
So that was the trailer for the Night Doctor Adventures at 13 o'clock, and before I actually get into my thoughts, this is the first time that we've had a Night Doctor Adventures sequel of sorts, because this being a sequel to Station, which I think took place in season 2 of the Night Doctor Adventures. This series, we're halfway through series 4, with a different release pattern, being one episode every 2 months instead of 3 episodes in a box set, released on the same day. There's that, and kind of when the title was announced, some Big Finish fans were annoyed because the Night Doctor and Rose Adventures alternate. That's the word I'm looking for, with the 13th Doctor and Yaz Adventures, and there was wondering, and might still be the case, if we would have a multi-Doctor story featuring the 9th and 13th Doctors and Yaz and Rose, and who knows, maybe that will happen, maybe it won't. We'll just have to wait and see over the next year, because this time, June 2027, will mark the final instalment of the Night Doctor Adventures Series 4. But back to this, which is the mid-series finale, and I will talk, as I mentioned at the start of this episode, I will talk about what's coming next as well. But this episode we were reunited with the Grimmity Crew, who we met during Station, and I probably should have listened to Station before this. You don't need to, because basically it's Saffron, and you just need to know that the Night Doctor and Saffron have met, and Rose and Saffron get to know each other. But Saffron actually turned up later in this story that I thought it's about halfway through. I thought it would be a bit earlier than that, and then kind of, the Doctor kind of is piecing things together and learns that it's his fault, and that's why I think the 5 out of this first 6 Night Doctor Adventures Series 4 have taken place on the Powell Estate. I think the only one that didn't was Cloud 8, which I think was number 4. The rest have, and this is why. So yeah, that is kind of it, and I think it kind of is a great ending to this first half of the Night Doctor Adventures, and it actually ends with Rose inviting Saffron, which I thought might actually happen. Is that where they're going to fill in a gap or something? Because obviously the Night Doctor Adventures life, kind of TV life, starts in Rose and finishes in the parting of the ways, so that's across 12 weeks. It doesn't give many gaps, whereas obviously kind of pre-Rose we've done that, and kind of now filling in some of the gaps and stuff. In this series, announced to have been taking place between Father's Day and The Empty Child, so between episodes 8 and 9. So yeah, it's kind of that's kind of it. There wasn't much really to it, apart from the Doctor beats the Grimmity Crew and wants to die, and doesn't particularly have any purpose, and the actually episode ends with the TARDIS dematerialising, which we've not had for a while. So where are we headed next with the Ninth Doctor and Rose? Is the press release titled Tides Are High for the Ninth Doctor. The audio adventures of the Ninth Doctor, played by Christopher Eccleston, and Rose Tyler, played by Billie Piper, continue in August, and after a series of stories centering around the Power State, it's time for them to get away from Earth, very far away. Deep space, as Rose will soon find out, is full of mysteries and horrors. The time travellers team up with the Knights of Atlas, who are on the trail of the long-lost Vestbald, a mapping ship which explored too far past known space has been lost for a long time. The Ninth Doctor Adventures Dark Tides is scripted by Tim Foley, who actually wrote the first episode of the Ninth Doctor Adventures Series 4, titled Snare, as well as the first episode of the 13th Doctor Adventures, Vampire Weekend. Vampire Weekend was released in July 2025, and Snare in August 2025. And guest stars Dune McKanan, the BAFTA-winning actress best known for TV shows including Smack the Pony, Good Omens, and Toast of London, as Dr. Vivian Rest, a mysterious survivor found aboard the Vestervoid. The guest cast also includes Ben Agnoid as the Knight's determined leader Sakal, Sam Stafford, who 8th Doctor fans could look forward to as Alfie in the upcoming 8th Doctor Adventures box sets in November and December, as his nervy Squire Mervyn, and David Shaw Parker as the wise man Holbrook. Here's the synopsis. A long-lost ship, the Vestbald, has returned to normal space, and the Knights of Atlas seek her treasure, but two strangers have joined their expedition, the Doctor and Rose, who warn of danger, for the Vestbald has jeeped free of the dark tides at the end of the universe, and she may have brought something back with her. Not even the bravest knights are ready for the evil which lies inside. Writer Tim Foley said, I'm delighted to be sending the Doctor and Rose into deep space, and it's the deepest kind of space at that, where impossible things lurk in the dark. But perhaps the light can be scarier than the dark. I've always wanted to write a brutal, gothic space adventure, so I can't wait for you to meet the Kings of Atlas and their curious damsel in distress, played by the brilliant June McKigney. Director Helen Goldwyn added, we've left the Power State behind, and the Doctor and Rose are back out exploring time and space together. Again, what's lovely about this is that we've seen both facets of the relationship. The Doctor's had to slot into Rose's world, and now she's in his domain, although she's learned quite a lot along the way already. This story draws on influences from folk tales, medieval stories, and even pirate stories. It's a lovely mishmash of all these different influences. Every script I've worked on by Tim has thrilled me. He's just so original, and his voice is distinctive as a writer. Dark Tides is the 7th of 12 new audio adventures for the Ninth Doctor and Rose. And without further ado, here is the video trailer that has been released for the Ninth Doctor Adventures, Dark Tides.
So they're actually knights.
Yep.
Space knights on a quest. Pretty retro.
I know exactly where we're heading. The Dark Tides.
Oh, you've given it an ominous name. That's all good then.
You having fun?
This is amazing!
Glad you like it, but don't stray too far.
That's interesting.
What's going on?
The Sonic just died. There is definitely something off about this ship.
That was the video trailer for the Ninth Doctor Adventures Dark Tides, which releases in August 2026. I don't think there's anything else I have forgotten to mention. I don't think so. No, that's everything. Yeah. Yeah, so that's COVID. So let me know what you thought of 13th o'clock. Listen to it as well as the trailer for Dark Tides, as well as you're planning to listen to it when it was released at some point in August 2026. But without further ado, I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.